The Lloydminster Bobcats ended last year on the road. Beginning this year on the road, that's because they are concluding their season-long 6-game road trip. Moses Woldu joining me on the desk, and you have a little bit more about tonight's tilt.
Yeah, they're heading to Drayton Valley to finalize that trip. Taking on the Thunder. You know, the Thunder actually sit in the basement in the North Division, but that hasn't stopped them from being a pest for the Cats and giving them a run for their money. Matt Schumont has more.
Coming off a pair of losses to the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, the Bobcats felt they deserved a better fate, despite being outscored 9-1 in those 2 games.
I think we needed to generate a little bit more offense to really play with that team. They do have a solid defense, but we got to find a way around that.
The Bobcats now travel to Drayton Valley to take on the Thunder. And although 10 points separate the 2 teams, the Cats have had their struggles against the Thunder as all 4 meetings have at least needed overtime.
They work hard. They're never really out of the game. It doesn't matter what the score is. They're playing with a lot of desperation, a lot of desire right now. They know they need to win to move forward and move on, and that's the way they play every game.
They're one of those dark horses that they'll sneak up on you. They're a hardworking team. They are desperate to climb out of the basement, so we gotta keep that in mind and know that they're right now playing like they're in the playoffs, so we gotta make sure we match that.
It's been a disastrous road trip for the Bobcats, only picking up 1 win on their season-long 6-game road trip. They know it's crucial to end this trip on a positive.
It's absolutely essential that we turn these into positives, and I mean, December is really the only month that we've had a losing record, and we're close to 500 that month, but we're certainly not happy when you look at the big picture as to how we played in December. And I can honestly say I don't think we made much progress. We allowed teams behind us to really close the gap.
We need to get 2 points here on Tuesday, and hopefully put a 4-point gap between us and the guys that are chasing us. I mean, with this little stumble here, it's allowed teams to catch us a little bit, so it's important to get a win and get on a streak so we can make up some room here coming down the playoff drive.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, you've heard who's on Canada's roster for the upcoming Olympics, so Matt Schumont caught up with the Bobcats to see who they thought would make the team and what might happen if the Canadians and Americans met at some point.
All right, Conor, now tomorrow Canada's making their announcement for their Olympic team now. Do you think, like a guy like Chris Kunitz or guys like Joe Thorne, do you think there's going to be any dark horses that might be a little surprised making this team?
Yeah, I mean, Kunitz is having a good year. I mean, he certainly has chemistry with Crosby, but I mean, you gotta look at a guy like maybe Kyle Tapp as a shootout guy. I mean, you see the guy's hands out there. I mean, maybe don't dress him in full gear, but I mean, he's got to be a dark horse for sure, and he's still eligible. So,
all right, Gary. Now, Team USA came out the roster on New Year's Day after the Winter Classic. So, I guess your initial thoughts on the team and how you think they're going to do.
Despite everyone else thinking it's a little fishy of a team, I still think they're going to do really well. I think, it goes back to the 1980 team, not looking for the best ones, looking for the right ones. So they got that going. I was surprised about not seeing Bobby Ryan on there, but, they know what they're doing, obviously, so you got to trust that.
Now yourself, you're playing in the Canadian market, a bunch of Canadian boys on the team. So is there any bets that you're going to be making with the boys come the Olympics?
I think there'll be a lot. I think I'll have a lot of Canadian money by the end of this, and after the U.S. takes gold, I think there'll be a lot of sad Canadians in the locker room, so we'll see.
It's not really a bet. They might as well give us their money right now. I mean, the Americans have no hope. I'm hoping to get paid in American. I mean, take a few more licks from them. I mean, it's worth a bit more than ours, I think, right now, so make a little more money off of them. But, yeah, it should be good.